Lucy also experienced severe vertigo. I was on vacation in Santa Fe, New Mexico. After visiting an urgent care and an emergency room for congestion and ear infection, my condition worsened. The vertigo was so severe that my husband called for an ambulance to take me from the hotel room because I could not stand up without holding onto the wall and was constantly vomiting. I ended up hospitalized in Santa Fe, and the vertigo was so severe that they discharged me with a walker for our drive back to Texas. I now have impaired balance and tinnitus in my deaf ear, which sounds like static. Feeling seasick. Sometimes balance symptoms manifest as a vague feeling of loss of stability, as if you are standing on a boat. Carmen describes her feelings of imbalance at the time of her loss. I was working from home on my computer. I remember thinking I didn't feel very good that day, and as the day went on, I felt worse. I wasn't sure why. When I got done working and stood up, I felt like I was walking on a boat. I was very imbalanced, and then I realized I couldn't hear out of my left ear at all. I made it to a chair in another room and sat down, telling my husband I needed to go to urgent care. I wasn't sure what was happening to me. Perry experienced gradually worsening balance problems. It started in the morning while I was at work. I had the feeling that my blood pressure was higher than normal. No other symptoms at this time. As the day went on, I noticed very slight dizziness or unsteadiness when I walked. My coworkers made me go to employee health to get checked out. I work in a hospital. As I walked down the hallway to employee health, I noticed I continually swayed to the right and had to put my right hand toward the wall to make sure I didn't bump into the wall. Everything they did in employee health checked okay, but I did have raised blood pressure. They suggested I go to the emergency room for further tests as they wanted to rule out a stroke. I then went to the emergency room, and while I was walking there, I noticed a slight hearing issue in my right ear. It felt like when you get water in your ear from swimming, but it wouldn't quit no matter what I did. I could still hear, but it was muffled. The best way that I can describe what it was like is if you are underwater, I have scuba dived in the past, and it's quiet and you hear a slight buzzing sound. But it wasn't too bad. My hearing loss at this point was probably 50% to 60% loss. I could still hear voices, but couldn't understand what was being said. High-pitched sounds really bothered me. By the time I got to the emergency room, I started having bad balance issues. I had to be helped because of balance issues.